Oh, ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful day it is to be a fan of the sport of football. I can't believe what I'm saying here, but Burnley as of today are officially 11 points clear from the title. No, not from third place. We've been used to that for a while now, being 17 points clear or whatever else has gone on, right? We are 11 points clear of second place, Sheffield United. My brain's just frazzled right now. We've gone to Luton and we beat them. I had absolutely zero expectation going into this game. I was begging that at least we can come out with a draw. It felt like it was meant to be. It felt like the results from Sheffield United earlier today, it gave us this massive opportunity to go and take it with both hands and to really stamp ourselves as be far and clear the best team in the league. And I felt like Luton was the worst place to go into. We'll go into the thoughts about today's match. We'll go into the predictions for the Millwall game. And we'll also go into just kind of how we feel right now. Because we are 11 points clear from the title. I got to keep saying it. We are 11 points clear from the title. Give me my fucking trophy. And this time, I would very much appreciate it, EFL, if you could actually give us our actual trophy on the day we win it for once, okay? Unlike last time at Charlton, when you made us prance around with an inflatable trophy. I am still annoyed about that till this day. So hopefully some justice can be given and we can be given it and celebrate with a trophy, not just once, but twice, 3 times, 4 times, no matter how many times we are clear by the time we actually win the goddamn thing. So, let's get into it. First off, the least said about the first half, the better, I would say. It felt like the typical Luton away performance, didn't it? It really did. It felt like the kind of game. By the way, I must say, why am I wearing an Hawaiian neck brace? We're on the beach from now on, boys, okay? Until I see other reason why I don't need to have this thing on, I will keep wearing this to the end of the season. As of right now, boys, we're on the goddamn beach, okay? We are far and clear. And Sheffield United, they're no longer part of our little team here, okay? Usually it's been Burnley and Sheffield United. Now it's just Burnley, bro, okay? You gotta focus on Middlesbrough behind you, okay? We're not part of you, man, okay? You're far away, okay? That's your problem, man, okay? So, we're doing our own thing. You worry about what's behind you, lads, okay? So, anyway, sorry, I just got scared here. My sofa score said there were 14 points clear, but I think that's a glitch. 11 points clear, yes. So, yeah, first off, honestly, I don't want to go there. I really don't, because I feel like it's just going way too. The game's done, so I shouldn't complain about it. But I think a massive part about why Burnley today didn't play the way that we usually do, as sort of free flowing with composure and first touch almost nailed on perfect each time. I feel like a massive reason why we were not playing our usual standard was because I don't want to be like AFTV Ty here. I really don't. But that was debatably the driest ass pitch I've seen in my entire life. I don't want to say that. There's no point saying it because we've already won, right? There's no point saying it. But honestly, that ball fucking bobbles all the time. And you can just tell there was one time the ball was just literally perfectly rolled up to I think Connor Roberts in the first half. And literally just see the ball just going. It's like when you watch F1 and the guy, I think started the season and then they're just bobbling their head the entire time. Genuinely, it was frustrating to see that it clearly was making an impact about how we're going to play, because in that first half, we had a sort of weird system that Maatson and Josh Brown were acting like the left forwards for us, and then Teller was acting as a striker, which, by the way, is never going to work because we can't really play actual on the floor football like we usually do. I know Burnley, right, but you must be new here if you have any doubts about that, right? We're trying to hoof it up then instead to Teller because we can't really play our normal style, and Teller's like 5'8" and he's up against giants, a free back right? Well, 5 back technically, but 3 back, 3 centre backs, right? It's not going to work. Barnes goes drops deep, and then Gudmundsson. I get the reason why Zaruri was on the bench, because I feel like he did look a bit jaded in the previous 1 or 2 games. So I get the reason why maybe have Johan on, because he's a bit more technical in the ball. So in a place like Luton on the pitch and the kind of play style, I get it. You know, maybe go for a safer pair of feet, maybe with Gudmundsson. And no one was particularly awful across the entire game, but at first off, it wasn't that good. And I'll be honest, looking back on it, is that potentially our worst performance of a half of a season? Maybe Sunderland away is up there, right? That was pretty diabolical. I think that's the worst. But today isn't far off being the worst half performance that we've had this year, right? So, of course, we needed to come out in second half, and I was expecting to see maybe a change, but, of course, it didn't come. And let's get into the first part of the 4 things we learned today. So, he's Brazilian. Vitinho, I think, was the large reason of why we won today's game. Taylor, of course, he had no chance in the first half. Again, up against Giants, right? He played as a striker. It wasn't working right. He should stay out wide. And because of, I don't know whatever reason, it just wasn't working for us, right? So, second half, Taylor, of course, pulls, I think, it's nothing too serious as far as I'm aware. Like, he was still walking off. He should be okay, but maybe Taylor may be out for a game or 2 now. But Vitinho comes on and he changed the game. Not only did he win the handball that gave us a penalty, but also his energy on the pitch was incredible. That he should have probably got another assist as well by setting up Cullen in the end. And just him coming back, helping out Connor Roberts when Luton were going for it at the end of the game. I really appreciated it. And Vitinho was the reason of why we won today's game. And he should have almost scored as well. Keep in mind, I think in the 55th minute or something from a corner, or 60th, right? So, everything good about today's game happened from Vitinho. And also, I loved seeing Anas come on. You can see the quality that he has compared to anyone else on that pitch almost for today, right? In terms of when he has the ball, just the confidence he has just to do little flicks and tricks and just move the ball on. So silky, again, almost setting up the goal that fell to Vitinho from the lovely little work to the right-hand side, and just cuts it back, and it fell for him, but unfortunately, those were blocked, right? So, yeah, the subs today made a big difference and was the big difference between us getting 3 points and getting 1, maybe even 0, right? So, into number 2 here, strong jaw. I want to give a big clap today for a certain man called Charlie Taylor, right? Because at 2 o'clock, I saw quite a few Burnley fans kind of scream bloody murder, saying, "Oh, why is Taylor starting? We got Al Dakil. What? Why is Taylor starting?" I'm like, I don't get why people are so vexed about Charlie Taylor. They all seem so paranoid about him, because I don't think he's ever put a foot wrong, really. Like, each time Taylor has come in at centre back, I always feel like he's really good. Like, maybe on the ball, in terms of driving forward, he's not a Bayer. He's not a Bellis in terms of what we're used to in terms of dropping deep and that kind of just driving through the middle of the pitch and finding balls out wide. That's not kind of what he's really about. Like, he can do that, but I think on a day like today, I don't think that was particularly needed. I think it was too risky to try to do that today, because with Luton, again, that pitch, Jesus Christ. So I just want to give a round of applause to Taylor. I thought that he's kind of unfairly judged by the fan base. And I think he's done great. I think almost the entire season at the centre-back role, which he's not used to. So, at the back, we look solid. Some resilient defending by Ekdal. Roberts didn't put a foot wrong defensively. Maatsen, defensively, did not put a foot wrong. Maybe you'd want a bit more taking wise by Maatsen or Roberts, but end of the day, doesn't matter. We got the 3 points, right? So, strong jaw by the team, showing that we can go to Luton against a very physical team. The kind of perfect blueprints that you could imagine that if you want to beat Burnley, how do you beat us? You would think by set pieces and physicality, and that is what Luton has in abundance. And today, clean sheet. You cannot ask for anything more than that. Number 3 here, and this is when it gets a bit exciting. Right, okay, look, I really don't want to come across like an asshole, right? I don't. But give me that trophy. Okay, are we all in the same ballpark here that today was a massive, massive day to really stamp our foot in the league? to see Sheffield United lose away at Millwall. And yes, I do get the fact that we do play Millwall in 3 days' time. So maybe I'm really I'm on thin ice here. I get it, right? But as I said on the podcast earlier this week, on the Thursday, saying Judgment Week, I felt like this was Judgment Week in terms of the title. Are we going to just kind of just clear ahead of Sheffield United and just kind of just do our own thing and just dance off into the sunset, or will we be dragged down into a bit more of a fight than what we want to be? Today we won, and today Sheffield United lost. And we've got Millwall again on Tuesday, another tough game, just like today was. And Sheffield United, they've also got Watford at home, who is not a easy team, as we saw last Tuesday, right? So, yeah, in terms of the trophy, we're 11 points clear of the title. That means that we've got 4 fuck-ups, right? We can lose 3 times and they can win 3 times and we're still clear, right? And as we are going closer and closer to the end of the year, we've got 14 games left. They're running at a time. And can you see Burnley winning? So can you see Burnley losing 3 games to the end of the year? Unless if we are already promoted and then we put our foot off the gas, I don't see it happening. I don't see Vincent Kompany letting the lads drop their heads. I really do not see it. Maybe you may have a different opinion, but I've seen nothing to tell me that these lads will not keep going to the very end. So tell me your thoughts on that one. I see Tom Kilby in the chat, Ian, Alan, Tinger, Frankie, Liam, Omar, Louis, football fan. How you do today, boys? What's your thoughts on today's result? Give me your match ratings, or your player ratings, actually. Someone says, slow down, man, you're on cork. Mate, we've just won 1-0 away at Luton. Luton, okay, of all places, right? And we are now 11 points clear of the top of the table. Yes, I'm a bit excited, my friend. And I talk quite fast. This is me a bit more excited on the podcast. I'm a bit more chill and relaxed. But when it comes to Burnley, straight after the game's ended, I'm a bit more, this. Okay, so number 4, into 4 things we learned. That's young man Ashley Barnes. I don't know what's happened. I really don't. I can't really explain. Just, he's so strong on the ball by holding players off, and his hold-up play, it just makes it so much easier. And on a day like today, in the first half, it was quite, it wasn't the best in terms of the first half, because I don't think he got given too much of a chance. But second half, we really showed our class. We really showed why we are top of the league and why we should be winning today ahead of Luton, right? And that second half was everything you needed to see. Barnes dropping deep again, and when Vitinho came on and Zaroury came on, it felt like a different game, because there were actual wingers out wide, pushed up, ready to lay it off to. Because in the first half, I think Taylor was way too narrow. He's that's like a number 9, and Maatson and Brownhill, they were kind of wide, but not at the same time, so it just didn't really feel the same. So Barnes, of course, with the goal today, of course he'll get his plaudits, and so he should. I saw a tweet earlier saying, "Oh, where's the Barnes haters at?" No one's hated on Barnes for like a good 3 months here. Like, everyone's been behind Barnes since the Blackburn game, right? So there's no more Barnes haters. We can all, it's fair to say that is the case, right? And a big thing as well, we're missing the likes of Benson, who today, Benson would have been a massive player. We're missing the likes of Bellis. We're missing the likes of Bayer. We have got some players out that are very vital for our team. And today you can tell, in terms of defensively, Ekdal was fantastic in terms of defensively, but that sort of driving through the midfield that we see so well by Bayer and Bellis, you can tell that there is a disconnect there. There is, the players may be used to a centre-back that just finds pockets of space and just kind of lays it off themselves naturally. And today we didn't really have that. Again, the pitch wasn't the greatest, and maybe the fact it's away from home at Luton, maybe they didn't have the confidence or the bravery to, which I get it. Maybe you want to be a bit more cautious against a team like Luton. And again, I love Luton, by the way. They really do. They resemble what Burnley used to be back in 08-09 or 13-14. That kind of team, that kind of local, gritty, hard-working team that no one actually expects to do well because they don't have the highest wage budget or the fancy names, right? So I like Luton. I like what they're about, especially their story is great, honestly. So this is no ill will to Luton. And today, if they had Adebayo had his shooting boots, which I think he hasn't recently, it could have been an entirely different game. That first half, he had a cutback, not an open goal, but it was a cutback with a goal, at his mercy, and it's completely scuffed it, right? So another day, it could have been an entirely different story. Looking at the chat here, and let's go into our player ratings. So I see some people with some quite high ratings. Muric, I'm seeing some people talk about Muric. So let's go into the player ratings. So number one, of course, is Muric, right? So Muric, my rating, I want to say an 8. Maybe I'm being too kind here. I don't know. 7 or 8. I want to say an 8 because he made some big saves in the first half that really kept us in it. And I like the fact he's bounced back so well from what happened early in the week against Watford. I like the fact he's come back in against, a very physical side that you would kind of resemble similar to the Sheffield United game that he didn't really do the best in. So maybe he would have felt like he's got a tough task. And in that first half, he made some great saves. I think he made 2 or 3 great saves. There was one in his near post, I think, but I had a buy in the 12th minute or so. And second half, I don't really think he had to do anything other than just make sure his lines are clear, right? And each ball that came in, he went there and he caught it. And I don't think he made any mistakes today, personally. Unless you think any different. Liam says 8. Alden says Muric is our weakest link. Today, I don't think so. Last week he made a mistake, sure. But when you're playing a tactic like we do, which relies on a lot of bravery, a lot of risk, it's a high risk, high reward system that we play. Every now and then you will make a mistake, and that's just what happens sometimes. Muric today, did he make a mistake? No. Did he keep it simple when he had to? Yes. Was a pass on? Did he make the pass to Cullen and so? He did. 8 for me. Tell me your thoughts down below. Someone, Ben, a Luton fan, said, just got back from the game, your 14 ran the game. Connor Roberts, well, he's up next of the player rating. So Connor Roberts, I want to say 7 again. I think a 7. Maybe an 8. I don't know. I don't think he made any mistakes defensively. Was resilient. Attacking-wise, I don't think he was involved too much, but he didn't really need to, especially at a game like today. Again, I don't think he put too much of a foot wrong. I don't think... Maybe in the first half, there was the cutback from Adebayo came from his side. So maybe you could say that was his mistake, that maybe he didn't stop the ball getting past him. So maybe... I want to say a 7. I'll say a 7 for Roberts today. From my memory. That solid performance and clean sheet... You can't get any lower than 7 really for me. Let's go into Charlie Taylor. 7 today. Again, passing-wise, not the best, right? Passing-wise, he wasn't the greatest compared to what we used to with our centre-backs of Bayer and Bellis. But when it came to being strong, being physical, getting his body in the way, he did everything that he had to do. And part of me even wants to say an 8. I don't know. Am I being too kind again here? I kind of want to say an 8 for Taylor because I really think that people doubt him a lot. And I think today he's proved people wrong again that he can come in a role that he's actually not really that natural to because he has been a left back for his entire career, right, until this year. So, I don't know, 7, 8, give me your ratings down below in the chat, Clarets. And I'll go 7.5. 7.5, okay, I'll be in the middle, okay? I know I shouldn't do that, but sure. Should get an 8 for that tackle on Adebayo. Yes, actually, right near the end, yes, 8. 8 for that. Because that was a big moment. That was a big moment that we all were like, here we go again. And he had a fantastic tackle. Didn't even go up for a corner or for a throw-in. Just got the ball, made it nice and clean, kept it as well. And I think even gave him a knock as well. So, perfect from him. Ekdal, this guy's been here for literally not even a month. He's been here for literally 3 weeks. And every single game, he just shows how good our recruitment is, clearly. What a player. What a player. The fact that he's on a permanent makes me so much more happy as well, because it makes me more relieved about what may happen next year in Premier League. We will be in Prem next year, okay? Let's not fool ourselves. And I'm very, very happy, really, to see that each game seems to be getting more and more composed. 7.58 again, a clean sheet, solid. Again, passing-wise, maybe we may say that they're not as good as Bayer or Bellis. I think that is number 1. It may take more time, more confidence. And number 2, I don't think today was the type of game to do that. if it's at home against a Huddersfield, right, or Wigan, now we still have to play at home, sure. But for today, I don't think it was needed. So, again, 7.58 again. Let's go on to Ian Maatsen. I think Maatsen today was, attacking-wise, it wasn't his best game again. I guess because he's had such a great run of games in recent weeks that the Watford game and today, for example, it wasn't as good as what we have seen recently, so it kind of makes it feel like he didn't play as well. It's still at least maybe a 6. I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh to him, but I just kind of feel like Maatsen today was good, just not as good as Taylor or Ekdal or Roberts. I noticed Roberts, the ball going through him a lot more times than Maatsen. I think Maatsen made sure to stay back and make sure he did his job, right? So that's fine. I feel harsh saying that. You can say 7, you can say 6, but out of the back 4, I noticed Maatsen the least, if that makes any sense, right? So Cullen, I want to say 7.5. 7.5 for Cullen for me. You can, maybe that's cheating again, but between Cork and Cullen, I noticed Cullen a lot more. Again, to the 90th minute, all hands on deck. His energy is clear as night and day. He just keeps on running to the very end. And he was very helpful, especially in that first half, in terms of actually trying to keep the ball and try to resemble our usual passing play, which wasn't really there to show in that first half, really. Second half, had a lot more on the ball, had a lot more time to showcase what he can do, keep it simple, retain possession, and Cullen today, again, as always, fantastic. So, Jack Cork, I don't think it was his best game today with Jack Cork. I don't know if it's just maybe he's had a bit of a knock recently behind scenes and we don't know, but he didn't seem like his usual composed self today, I don't feel like. Just sometimes maybe a bit sluggish at some tackles and being caught out a few times. But for the most part, was still fine, but not as good as the Jack Cork we are used to. So, in terms of, I still wanted him to start today, and I still feel like it was a good choice to start him today. But we're used to Cork being a bit better, right? So someone said, don't be so critical of a growing team that are doing all the right things. I'm not being critical. I'm giving them a 6, 7s. I'm not being critical. I think it's because we're so used to seeing them play so well across the entire season that when the other games are a bit more off, that it's much more clearer to see. It's not critical. I'm still saying they had a great game, and today it was a tough game to try to perform really well. Again, I don't want to say it, man, but that pitch was diabolical. Genuinely, especially in that first half and the second half as well, I saw it at times, but first half was diabolical. That literally just bobbles. It was just non-stop. So we couldn't really trust to play our usual on-the-floor system because you got to have full confidence on your first touch when you're playing our style of football, and we just could not do that today. So that is the reason why today felt a bit more off than usual. Brownhill maybe a 6. One thing about Brownhill, right? Again, today was fine. He did a job. He worked his arse off. Fine. But on set pieces, bro, you've got to stop doing that floaty corner. I've never seen it work once. Can we just drill it in or something, please? I don't. He keeps on doing this floaty corner set piece each time, and it's frustrating as hell, right? So please, Brownhill, just smash it in. But in terms of performance, again, didn't really put a foot wrong, but again was just kind of he kept it simple and just kind of was about and ran his arse off, and yeah, good, but yeah, just I don't know what more to say about it really other than that. Gudmundsson, again, probably a 6 in the first half. 6 across the game. It got subbed off quite early, I think, in the 54th in the second half here. Again, just kept it simple. Couldn't really take a man on. He didn't really make anything happen other than the free kick chance in the first half. That was really our only shot from my memory in that entire first half, right? That Gudmundsson had a good chance there from a free kick. Other than that, I don't remember too much from memory. So a 6 for me. Barnes, I'd give it a 7.5. I'd give it an 8. Screw it. He scored, right? It's Ashley Barnes. Hold-up play was very decent across the entire game. First half, didn't get given much of a chance. But he scored. It's Ashley Barnes. And it just felt like a proper Burnley win. Ashley Barnes scores. bit of a shit house, and it just felt like it's meant to be. And that's today was a win that I think we'll look back on with great memories. We'll look back on very well. And then Nathan Tella, I felt quite harsh from him, to be fair, because I think he stood no chance in that first half. Again, he's up against giants. It's not really no fault of his own. It's a 6 because nothing really happened. But I don't think he was really given the chance to make something happen, right? Because, again, he was playing as a striker, and we were just kind of hoofing up to him non-stop, trying to almost resemble what happened against Preston at home, that we kind of just lobbed it, and it kind of like bounced off Barnes' arse or Teller's arse, and kind of just those two did their own thing. I think we're trying to resemble that today, and it just didn't work, right? So 6 for Teller, and I hope that he's okay. Vitinho, 8. Vitinho, 8 for me. Vitinho changed the game. When he came on, he almost scored, and he made the penalty, and he also could have got another assist with the Cullen chance in the last 10 minutes of the game. So Vitinho, for me, changed the game. Adding the energy up top, just a bit of a different mindset, Teller's great, Gumson's great, but the beauty of our players and our depth is the fact that they all offer something different. With Vitinho, you got different ideas than what you would have with Anas Saruri. Saruri today again came on, and I give him a 7 as well. Saruri looked a lot more like himself. You could see the ability just flow off him. It's night and day in terms of what you can see from him compared to some of their players, for example. And he was fantastic again. And it looked more like the Anas that we very much well know. And then Lyle Foster, he got brought on, but for like 2 minutes. 7, sure. He kept a clean sheet, right? So, lads, that is the player ratings. And also Vincent Kompany. I'll say an 8. I'll say 8 out of 10. Maybe a 9, actually. Like, starting off, first half, pretty poor. But second half, he made the changes relatively early. I think the Teller one was maybe forced because the fact that Teller got injured. Well, not injured, but he pulled something. So we're going to see how long he may be out for. But yeah, there you go. I'll say an 8 out of 10 for him. And then there you go, boys. Luton, 0. Burnley, 1. We got Millwall on Tuesday night here. And it's going to be another big week in the Championship for the boys in claret and blue, as we've got Middlesbrough winning today. So they put even more pressure, adding another 3 points between them and Sheffield United. The next game is against West Brom away for Borough, which is not midweek. It's actually next Saturday, right? So that's going to be interesting. And then Sheffield United alongside us playing. Do we both play on the same day or no? So we play on a Tuesday, right, against Millwall. And then Sheffield United, they do indeed play on the Tuesday as well, I presume. Or maybe not. Oh, damn, they don't even play. Okay, so they play on Saturday. So it's only us that actually plays midweek. That's weird how that works out, actually. There you go. How you doing, boys? How you doing, Morehouse? How you doing, boys? Okay, there you go. I don't think there's much more I can really say. Today was a massive, massive day to really showcase our authority and to really just put a nail in the coffin. I'll put, of many nails in one coffin, let's say 10 nails, I want to say there's at least 7 in there now. Okay, how many nails in that coffin to get a title? I think it's now 7. I think there's 3 nails left in that bad boy, because it's going to be very tough for us to cut this up, because not only does it rely on us losing 3, 4, 5 games now out of our last 14, but it also relies on them to also, I mean, they can win games as well, to say the least, but something calamitous must happen here. So, lads, the Burnley boys win again. It's a lovely Saturday, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon for the podcast on Monday. So join us then. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and up the carrots. We're going to win it all again, boys. Thank you very much. Let's go.